One of the most significant changes related to use of force is video documentation. But is what we see accurate?
Everybody's got an evidence collection system. Video is often used as the silent witness against police officers. But like in many other cases, the witness is completely unreliable. All video is inaccurate. You've got to be able to interpret it correctly. All of our iPhones, our Samsung phones, our Apple phones, your taxicab videos, your SkyTrain videos, all of these video systems are employing some level of prediction. It borrows information from past images and reuses that information in order to reduce the amount of data required to be stored. As a result of that, you actually have parts of images that are not real. They're borrowed from previous events. The unfortunate thing when you reduce the file size through that kind of compression method is that you're actually changing the meaning of what occurred.
Video has all kinds of limitations in terms of spatial limitations. It doesn't see the same way a human sees. The lighting effects are different. The angles are different. And unfortunately, people make judgments based on what they see on video.
When an investigator looks at video, makes the assumption that the video is being played back at an accurate, same refresh rate, and they misinterpret the timing between images, perception of force may increase. This constable in Calgary was charged internally after the video came up in a random review. During his interview, he denied the events, which were clearly depicted on the video. He denied that he grabbed the prisoner by the throat. He denied that he slammed his head up against the wall. He denied that he threw the prisoner up against the glass at the booking counter. He denied that he kicked the prisoner. The investigators reviewed the video and determined that he was lying, and the department went for dismissal. In most cases that I'm involved in interpreting video for use of force cases, the courts or the investigator will misinterpret the meaning of the timing. But there is metadata in video that is easily accessible that can help protect the integrity of a use of force investigation. When I testified for the constable in this dismissal case, I showed the hearing officer all the areas where images were dropped. The original evidence was that the constable first lunged at the prisoner, but 3 images were dropped here. The evidence was also that the constable grabbed the prisoner by the throat, but clearly we can see there is not enough resolution to see where his hand is. And at the moment when he was accused of slamming the prisoner's head against the wall, 6 more images were dropped during the recording. And in each of the alleged kicking motions, there were multiple images dropped. If images are dropped, the video gives the illusion of increased speed, and increased speed is always interpreted as increased force. You've got to be able to interpret it correctly. Doesn't matter what side you're on. When you see what appears to be an inadvertent strike, is that just a change in the image refresh rate, or is it actually something that occurred? And if you have the ability to understand how the image was created, then you can interpret whether it's being played back correctly. Now you know you have valuable evidence or not.
It's more and more common that an adjudicator or a judge will actually use the video inconsistently, perhaps, with the expert testimony, or at least to find facts that the expert opinion might not have been based on.
A video can never provide any subjective factors, and situational factors, context factors, officer perception, officer beliefs, the amount of risk that an officer feels he or she is facing, all factor in to their judgment and decision making and their ultimate decision on whatever force they decide to use.
And when that's explained to the trier of fact of the jury and they side with the officers, and like I say, the public's outraged because they saw the video and they think it should have been an obvious conviction, for example. But again, the video usually only tells a very small part of the story.